Hi, I'm Cash, and welcome to Cash Talks Football, where I break down all the goals scored, that's every single one, in the Premier League from all the teams, using my over 20 plus years coaching experience, hopefully giving you some different insight. Maybe you want to become a better player, a better coach, or maybe you just don't want to make the same mistakes as these guys do. So also, if you'd like to hit me a subscribe in the corner, because it makes you sexier. It is true, scientific data's out. If you do subscribe, it makes you sexier. Because it does. Just because. When you subscribe, you're sexier. It's true. Right, so we're just going to start here looking at this game of Bournemouth Wolves, sorry. But what I'm going to show you is the difference in the lines here. Can you see, right, how much space there is between the defence and the midfield right here? Okay, and how they're getting in behind on this transition too quickly. What's really happened is something that doesn't really happen very often in the Premier League. They're actually creating depth. So their strikers are pushing their defenders back to actually open up this space in the first place, which is absolutely quite good. So if these guys press here, they're done because they're actually pushing their defenders away, because the guy on the ball can play that pass in behind. It plays a ball into here, bump. Look, you can see how far back this line is. If they're stood up further, changes everything that they're doing. Little simple turn here. Bosch, I like the turn. I used to love that turn, to be honest. It's one of the turns I used to try to teach everyone I ever coached. There's another way you do it coming towards the ball. So right there, if you look at this turn, right, he's going away from the ball. So what I mean by that is on the point where he goes there, he goes away instead of going to, right? So you can go towards it when you do this turn. That's going into the space. The other one is you go backwards on yourself to create space. So it depends on how close you are to the player in front of you. If you're really tight, you want to go back the other way. You want to go back this way. In this time, you can turn and go forward. It's still the same type of turn, but you need to learn it forwards and backwards to make it really be effective. Backwards when you want to create space because you're under pressure. Forwards when you've got loads of space like this guy does, and he can play a nice little pass down the line. Bush, off he goes. Dump. Now he's looking up. Now I want you to pay attention to how many players Bournemouth have going forward compared to Wolves. 4, 5, 6, 7, 5. That shouldn't be happening. Like genuinely shouldn't be happening. That's because there's a massive disconnect. You can still see the gaps appearing as they go forward. Now this guy's got a little bit of work to do. I don't know what this obsession is in the Premier League about stopping the ball and the player at the same time. You cannot stop the ball and the player. Coaching 101, right? The player needs to be in motion or the ball needs to be in motion. You can't have them both stopped. And they do it all the time. It's just instantly marked. If there was a decent coach in the Premier League teaching people how to, to go and win the ball, none of these guys would ever be able to do this, ever. But they do. They get away with it. And as he starts running, he gets a nice little overlap on the outside. Fantastic. Do we use him? But look at the overload here. Look at the overload of players coming over here. They're not dealing with. Go back. Look at how bad they are. They're crowding around the ball here. They don't know what they're doing. Right, so what I mean by that is this guy here, he's supposed to be providing the pressure on the ball. This guy cannot win the ball because he is not goal side. He needs to be dropping back in here immediately, ignoring this ball because we know it's under pressure from this guy here, right? So this guy's got his job. You come back in and do his job. That's what you need to do. Doesn't know what he's doing. Look, now he's pressuring the ball. Well, there's two of you there. How many footballs are there? One. Why is there two of you trying to pressure the ball there when we've got two players unmarked? Well, what are you doing? They don't know what they're doing. Ball goes in. All of a sudden, a bit of space, bit of luck, bit of a touch, and it's in the back of the net box. 1-0. Let's get on to the next goal. In my true normal fashion, before we get on to the next goal, we're just going to have a little look at the finish here, just so you can have a little appreciation here, how this goes in. Dosh, as it starts coming across, little flick, keeper's beaten, and then it goes. Similar to the first goal where someone's picked the pass out in midfield. This is a quality pass, though. It's eye of the needle stuff, this. Going straight through here. Bosch straight through there, but again, midfielder with loads of space. You can see there's acres of space here. No one's really got their shape set up properly. They're just way too open. Way too open. You can just run down the field. Just run down the field with the ball. Now here's the problem with this defender. If you're this defender here, okay, and there's a ball and a player on the other side, the only thing you can really do is drop, but drop slowly. What do I mean slowly? Right, so this guy's at full pace. He's running, right? If you run back at your speed, you don't close this gap here. You want this gap to close to you. So how you do that is you let this guy run towards you as you run away a little bit slower so the gap gets closer. Does that make sense? That's what you want to do. And the reason you do that is because that way you've always got your eye on the player behind you and you're slowly dropping and taking out the other's problem. Because the other problem is, if you're this far up, is the space here. None of this gets used in this play, but I just want to point it out for you so you have some insight into how to actually defend if this is you. As soon as he cuts inside, he can actually just start hauling arse and pressuring at the ball here. He doesn't. He thinks he's going to shoot. Little lays the pass off. Let's just watch that. See this run here? Completely unchecked. This guy here isn't doing anything. Right. The reason why this is important is because as soon as this ball has gone past him, he's out of the play, right? So when he cuts inside, he needs to be pressuring straight away to make sure that this ball doesn't happen. It's his responsibility to cut that ball pass out there, and he doesn't do it. Now he realises he's got to do it. All of a sudden, it's too late. Do we see that? Bosch, volley finish, top corner. Let's have a little look at that just so you can see a little bit better. Can you see this is the defensive midfielder right there? As we start going forward, Bosch, as soon as that touches inside there, he needs to be closing so that pass doesn't come and happen in the middle here. It's too late. He's too late. He can still go again here. He's just too slow. He just doesn't read the danger quick enough. Don't know why the centre-back is stepping out. Maybe that's why he doesn't go, because the centre-back steps up and he doesn't know what he's doing either. Bosch, and then we got all sorts of problems. But there we go. Let's get on to the next goal. This is about the 4th goal this week in the Premier League, where they're trying to play hipster pass. More than that, actually. God. It's maybe even the 5th or 6th goal this weekend, where they're trying to pass the ball out of the back but they don't really know what they're doing and why they're doing it, and so they create mistakes like this all of the time. It's just bad football all over. Right, here you go. It's a goal kick. I think it might even be a free kick, to be fair. And this is where the keeper passes the ball. There. Unbelievable. Right, so the keeper hasn't got a clue how to play football. So what he's just done, he's passed it into a pressure pocket. There's players ready to pounce on this guy, and he's done. Like, he's got one pass right now, and it's over to here, out the way. The keeper should have just been going out here. There was loads of space out here for him, and he doesn't. He passes it into the middle of the field, in the middle of his goal. Mad. He's insane. No, he's not. He's just terrible at football. So this guy panics. Now he knows he's in all sorts of trouble. Look, that guy reads that he's going to pass it back here, and he's already starting to press. Smart player, well done. Now this guy's turn, and he's panicking because he knows he's in trouble now. Now here's the other problem, right? This is the other problem, because none of them know how to play football. I'm telling you right now. You think they do? No, they don't. They've been coached so poorly. Right now, this player needs to be hauling arse and covering the centre of the field, right? He needs to be getting over here because this guy is leaving. And if he loses the ball here, this is where the ball's going to end up. He's got no idea that could possibly happen. Doesn't move. Doesn't move. Now he starts to. Do you see the difference? Now he starts to. He's what? Oof. About 3 seconds too late. And if we ever listen to why people talk about professional players, about in the Premier League and everyone else, the reason is about 15 to 30 seconds a game. What does that mean? It's your reaction time. He's too late there. That's one of his 3 seconds why he's not a good enough football player. If he should have been reacting straight away, covering the middle of the field, anticipating a mistake because his team's crap. And all of a sudden, they're in mad danger. Bosch, he would have already been there. Straight through the middle, and he taps it into the net box. It's terrible all over, from the keeper, from the defenders, but it all comes from the keeper and the coach telling them to pass the ball out and do things that they're not capable of doing. Those players are not capable of making those decisions. They're not capable of playing the ball in that pressure situation and getting rid of it or turning the player, but they make him do it anyway. Terrible. Blop, and then it goes. There we go. I'll see you next time on Cash Talks Football.